Welcome back, everybody. Dren608 plays, playing Pathfinder Wrath of Righteous. I had to stop midway through this conversation. I'm going to see if I can get through this. I notice here it says she winces slightly but regains her composure. Very well, then. Ask your questions and I will answer. So defying her seems to be the thing to do, so I don't think I'm going to take her power, but let's find out what's going on. Do I want to know about the crystals to begin with? Or do I want to know who she serves?
Both, and neither. I have served both Discari and Baphomet, and not merely as the lowest in the pecking order. But I do not think you'll be surprised when I tell you that to me, both of these mighty lords are merely convenient temporary sources of power. And their time is almost at an end. But the Lady in Shadow is different. She is the preeminent ruler. Soon you will understand this for yourself.
Okay. You followed me?
Like a witch in a fairy tale, I watched over you from birth. From before that, even. And I kept detailed notes. You were chosen and prepared for a special destiny. I am pleased to see that you still wear them. I enchanted them specially to protect you from danger. I am glad you found my gift useful.
Excuse me.
Aside from this, I helped you, even when you were unaware of my presence. I saved you and your unfortunate companions when you fell into the crevice in Canabris. In the Grey Garrison, it was I who distracted Minago to allow you to approach the Wardstone. And in Dresden, I appeared under the guise of Yoniel to guide you toward the Sword of Valor.
Huh.
And I also left you a present in my old laboratory, and told the Suture to see that you received it. I knew that sooner or later you would find your way there. That place exerts a powerful pull.
As it turns out, you helped me thwart the plans of your masters back in the universe.
They are not my masters, they are a resource.
God, I can't get this cough to stop. It's driving me nuts. Let's go with wipe as the whole ploy. That's something new.
You always have to sacrifice something. I wanted you to go to the laboratory to see with your own eyes what I had been doing and what I am capable of, so it would be easier for you to accept the truth. The laboratory is the place where I prepared your ascent. And the Suture was the only one who I could trust to execute my plan and explain everything. After all, he too once experienced rebirth at my hands. And that is why I was willing to risk his life.
Perception check passed. Look at that, I actually provoked a reaction. That's the second time your expression has changed when I've mentioned the Suture. Now I know the architect of the world, one is capable of feeling remorse, if only when she sends her Dretch minion on a deadly mission. Let's do that. See what happens to me. She'll probably hit me with a bolt of lightning and disintegrate me and start over.
I see I am not the only one making observations and drawing conclusions. You are analyzing me. That is commendable.
I got some experience points out of it. Figured how to use the crystals to imbue living creatures with power?
Not just any creatures. Demons. And half-demons. The soul must have a stable connection with the Abyss in order for it to receive the power of the crystal. Experiments involving tieflings and mongrels failed because the voice of the Abyss was not strong enough within them.
But I'm not a demon, am I?
I wasn't a demon either when I started. But there are always ways to circumvent, or even to override the laws of the universe.
Ooh.
I changed myself by knitting my soul together with the essence of the abyss. And I changed you. Do you remember the fits of rage that began shortly after Discari's attack on Canabras? This is how the second half of your soul manifested itself. Not yet fully aware. Not yet awakened. It's a pity you did not choose to let your demonic nature take hold. The result would have been most impressive. All those arrogant crusaders, those knights with their eyes ablaze, those pious priests. They have installed at the head of their magnificent army a scion of the abyss, the creation of the architect of the world wound, whom they so revile.
My power is different than Jarabethnik and the other demons.
Yes, because I taught Xanther and the other servants of Baphomet and Discari the earliest version of this transformation ritual. I spent decades perfecting it until I obtained the power that I gave to you. Power in its most purified form, cleansed of the filth and chaos inherent within the original blood of the demon lords. Your power is as pure as thrice distilled water, but it resonates with other powerful sources of supernatural power, such as the Sword of Valor. And your power can change. You must have realized this already. You have shaped my gift into a form that you yourself have chosen.
Okay. Is it dangerous? How dangerous is this wound?
It was my mistake. My failure. I failed to... The tale is too long to recount here. Your wound is a reflection of the world wound in a way. It is very dangerous, even if you do not yet realize it. It is not a disease, but rather an abscess, which will one day burst and kill you. It cannot fully be healed until the world wound is healed.
Okay.
No doubt you have felt this affliction on several occasions. It awakens when you use your power. It makes you sense more strongly what mortals call the corruption of the abyss. Until the world wound is healed, you will have no peace.
Okay. Alright, last question.
Nihindrian crystals are formed from the solidified blood of demon lords. Their properties are not well known, even among the inhabitants of the abyss. And there are reasons for this. Acquiring the blood of a dead demon lord is very difficult. After a demon lord dies, their body is instantly absorbed into the Rift of Repose. Only the Lady in Shadow knows how to kill them in a way that allows her to preserve the bodies of her fellow lords and transform them into a solid state. That means that Nihindrian crystals cannot be obtained anywhere other than the Midnight Isles.
Huh.
Or rather, it was impossible until recently, when I managed to experimentally obtain a crystal from the blood of a still living lord. You saw the result. A dagger made from Discari's freshly shed blood, which I left for you in Canabras. As regards the use of the crystals, that is a discussion that would take time. A very long time. Someday I will finish my groundbreaking treatise on the transformation of Nihindrian crystals. Although it is unlikely I will ever publish it. You are seeking answers, trying to understand the crux of the matter. That is good.
Alright, last question. What do you want from me?
Patience. Before we continue, I want you to receive your power.
No. Not this guy. take power from demons, they get a hold on you, right? Guess that was the right thing to do? Channel your power into these words, and strangely you feel a surge of power within you in response. You turn down what Areelu more or less offered you, and your whole being embraces that choice. A wave of cold washes over your chest, and the open wound becomes smaller as if your decision compelled it to shrink.
That effect. How unexpected. It deserves to be studied, but I will see to that later.
Okay. She warily draws back her hand, and swirl glowing essence disappears.
Enough! Enough of this madness! I was blind. O Lady of Heaven, how blind I was. I saw holiness in the half-fiend's creation.
Reach for the hand of the inheritor, thunders beside you. Areelu does not move, seemingly unaware of his presence. It's blind, O Lady of Heaven, how blind I was. I saw holiness in the half-fiend's creation. Uh-oh, he's gonna get mad at me.
But is it truly possible? Angelic light in a creature of darkness? Am I tricking myself into thinking that I have been deceived? Forgive me, champion. I must leave you. I must collect myself. Pray. Reflect. Find
No
me
life
in
in
the
the
Nexus.
He adds dully and disappears. Okay. I'm on my own. Been on my own pretty much anyway.
I want to help you close the world wound.
Okay. Cut off by a quiet laugh, sitting on the throne that was empty just a moment ago is none other than Nocticula, ruler of Alushinyrra and the Midnight Owls, a powerful demon lord and the only one they call Our Lady in Shadow. Her red lips curl into an ironic smile and her large eyes observe you with keen interest.
You were about to say, we are going to close the world wound, weren't you, Areelu? I see no reason to continue deceiving this mortal. Now I am convinced that he is quite worthy of serving me. I will even reward him with a modicum of knowledge about the events in which he is about to take part.
Boy, we're gonna get another soliloquy here.
Greetings to you, Our Lady in Shadow.
Stops to one knee and bows her head.
It's nice to see that even surrounded by mortals, you haven't forgotten who your mistress is, Arushale. You may rise.
I didn't mean to. I don't know why I did it.
Okay. Smirk jauntily. Yeah, hi. Just so we understand each other, I'm not going to grovel on my knees before you. Smile charmingly. You're a truly resplendent lady in shadow. It would bring me great happiness to get to know you better. Bow respectfully. Please allow me to greet you, great ruler of the Midnight Isles. Hey, lady, I want to beat your brains in, which I really do, but I know I would lose. I've been sitting on your throne, listening to us the whole time. Let's go lawful. I haven't done any lawful thing in a good while.
Your manner does not lack courtesy. That is to be commended. I have had my eye on you for a very long time. You see, it was at my behest that Lady Vorlesh imbued you with such incredible powers. But I was curious to see your worth as an individual, not as Lady Vorlesh's creation. Thus, I decided to postpone our meeting and see how you'd fare in Alushinyrra, and whether or not you could win respect and power among those not so easily impressed by outstanding magical abilities. Well, you've passed my test adequately, by proving that your character and your will are stronger than the Nehindrian powers Lady Vorlesh has vested in you.
You are wise, my lady. However, only those who have never known or forgotten what it is like to be mortal can so easily dismiss the importance of power. To be someone whose life is fragile and can be cut short at any moment, like a candle snuffed out by a gust of wind.
It is a shame your angel has left you, mortal. I would have liked to talk to him. I don't expect I will get another chance, as that celestial buffoon's days are numbered. because he charged off all alone into the vastness of the abyss. An old friend awaits him there, the Echo of Discari. And the Echo has been anticipating this meeting for a long time.
I'd like to know.
Perhaps you don't know everything about me yet, mortal. Perhaps you made the same mistake as many before you, and many who were more insightful and more powerful than you, by presuming to know what to expect from the Lady in Shadow. He is a strange creature, a bespoke creation, so to speak. Long before the world wound was opened, Discari, that little cricket, was seeking a way to have some fun on Galarian and assert his influence there. One day, he decided to gather a few strong mortal followers, fuse them together into one being, and pump that being full of his own power, in the belief that something worthwhile would come of it. That is how the Echo came to be. To the great dismay of both the Echo and the Lord of Crickets, the Echo was greeted by Areelen, protector of humankind. Areelen gave the Echo such a thorough thrashing, the whole abyss thought him dead. And yet he was not. Cricket, the younger, is alive and well, though I cannot say the same for Areelen. But the Echo remembers his humiliation still. He hates anything and everything related to Areelen, especially his inheritor, Iomedae. Her heralds, her priests, her temples. He would hate Iomedae's pet pug, if she had one. Envy, humiliation, ego. The usual playthings of little boys from all planes and realities. The Echo suffered more than one defeat. First at Areden's hand, then under the onslaught of the forces of heaven. Those routes taught him to attack his enemies by stealth, boldly and often, killing and crippling anyone close to the light-bringing goddess. Now, it seems, he has decided the time has come. The Herald of Iomedae himself is in the abyss alone, without a retinue of lesser angels.
Okay.
He's an interesting little bird, that angel. Before he became the Herald of Iomedae, he served Regathiel, the General of Vengeance. I've always found the fate of that Imperial Lord to be quite fascinating. Did you know that the father of the Upper Plains' top military leader was a devil from hell? Regathiel had to achieve many feats to redeem his unholy legacy in the eyes of the other Imperial Lords. But he did. A remarkable tale, is it not?
Conversation is interrupted by a concerned-looking succubus who silently approaches Noctilia and then begins fervently whispering into her ear. Noctilia's expression turns hard and cold as Noctilia ponders the new development. Messenger makes eyes at you playfully. You recognize those green eyes, except they were awash with pain when you last saw them. Their own are bleeding out in the caverns of the Nexus. Succubus smiles slyly and gives you a wink.
Another island, another loss. Enough! I warned them that I would not stand for the desolation of my realm. They have not heeded me, and they will regret it. Go to your sisters, and tell them to prepare.
Sends the green-eyed servant away and turns her face to you and smiles. I know her.
Yes, you've already met Laulia, my talented assistant. I've heard she was very convincing at acting out her tragic death in the mines of the Nexus. As you can see, I've been watching you since your very first moments in the Abyss. And even a little earlier. I have prepared a beautiful intrigue that will topple many of your enemies and seal the world wound forever, ending the threat to Galarian. And you have the chance to become part of that intrigue.
My companion Ember would like to speak to you. It's part of her quest.
Ember. So that's her then? Well, approach. I have heard you bleating your pathetic prayers at me. You have some nerve addressing me with such nonsense. Did you think I would simply repent? Renounce my status as a demon lord? Do you have any idea what I had to do to acquire it? Wait, what is this?
Why have you brought this simpleton here? This is Alushinyrra, not Narrow-Sun. We don't give alms here.
I can't stand these noises. Do you think you're the first to try to move me with a display of tears? It only makes me angry. If you wish to speak, then wipe your nose and speak clearly.
I know what you had to do to others and to yourself. I'm so sorry. So sorry. If only I could ease your pain somehow. Calm your sorrows.
I've been telling everybody to hear her out because she's a bloody saint.
In my realm, I decide to whom I should listen and whom I should hang. Be quiet. You wanted me to hear the girl out? Then let her babble on until I tire of her.
Okay.
So, where were we? My pain? My sorrows? What nonsense are you talking? Don't tell me you pity me.
I'm so sorry. You're the most miserable soul I've ever seen. I've seen people burned alive. People being devoured by monsters. People burying their children. They were in pain. So much pain. But I've never seen anyone in as much pain as you.
Wow.
What is this saccharine drivel? What do you even know of me, Nat?
I've seen your city. You were the one who built it. It is the way you wanted it to be. It holds all of your dreams, all of your heart, and everyone in this city is suffering. Everywhere, all the time, every minute. All who live here are hurting and scared. If these are its citizens, how miserable must its ruler feel?
And this is what you brought her to me for. You think this infantile sniveling is worthy of my attention?
I get myself in trouble with Nocticula, but I do defend him.
As if I hadn't seen enough sanctimonious bores in my life. So, what do you suggest I do, preacher? Beg the good gods' forgiveness? Devote myself to serving a sword-swinging upstart, perchance? Or that old crone, the moon?
No. Gods can't help anyone. They're just like us mortals. Silly, frightened, clueless. You're almost a goddess yourself. You know better than anyone that no one can save you. No one except you.
Ooh.
Save me? From what exactly?
This is cool.
From yourself. From what you've done to yourself. From the city you've imprisoned yourself in. Listen! You are a queen, but you're the queen of pain and filth. Your realm is a realm of your own suffering. You're almost a goddess. You can do anything you want. So why won't you make yourself happy? You could become the Redeemer Queen.
Finally done laughing, she catches her breath. She's doubled over laughing. It's too bad they couldn't have the girl on the thing doing that.
The Redeemer Queen! That's new. Never in all my years have I heard anything like that. Whew. Well, child, enough joking. Get out of my sight, or I'm afraid I might decide to keep you here forever as my fool.
Do you think she took my words to heart?
Who knows?
I suppose you're right. We'll see what happens.
I told you to get out! I don't want to hear your squeaky voice again!
Just to inform you of treason? Aspect of the apps, I don't know what that is. Okay, I got something. So far away to sink the island the crystals are on to the bottom of Isha. I assume you understand why all who attempted to procure them on Areelu were executed. At least you didn't tell Alushinyrra about the mines you found. The last thing I need is the ardent dream burrowing under my capital. Correct. Also, there's this one. You are a fount of knowledge, my dear guest. Let's just say I'm not surprised by her appetite. Visions of that brat, or her lecherous goat of a sire, were bound to surface sooner or later, but your warning will encourage me to keep a closer eye on her. You could have gone to Alushinyrra with this and received a payment for your silence. Your foresight must not go unrewarded. Now I've got a secret ingredient, whatever that is, and some more experience points. Still tolerate her. Someone has to deal with trivial matters. Alushinyrra's betrayal was assured the moment I made her my favorite, just as I've always been before her. The second always dreams of rising to be the first. I know the feeling well. Okay, I've said everything I need to say. Oh, by the way, I had to kill this guy. I'm aware of this. Of course, it is lamentable in a way, since his fear of me was strong enough to make him impeccably loyal. However, death is but a single move in a much larger game. In games like this, losing a few pawns is unavoidable. Did she really create me? Certainly had a hand in your present state of existence. Later rulers designed the world wound, a magical phenomenon of unfathomable power. To seal it, we required a key that was just as strong and unique. Simply put, we required a champion, and she chose you. Both your powers and that wound on your chest were a result of the experiments when she infused your soul with the essence of the abyss. Of course, you remembered none of that. Everything was done in secret. Even the power granted to you was purified, to the extent that it was possible, so that you would not guess its source ahead of time. In trial after trial, we watched your will be tempered, and when the time came, we started filling you with the energies of the hidden crystals. The energies are necessary for the task at hand. Everything that's happened to you is part of my intrigue. I was going to summon you and reveal the truth when the time was right. Instead, you have followed your queen's orders and arrived here early. One can only hope that you are prepared to accept the truth. Everything has its price, says quickly. Your wound was, in essence, the flip side of all my experiments. There was a reason why we required a true champion, not merely a living tool whom we could fling into the flames of the world wound and close it like any lesser rift. I think you should know that. Sudden gesture cutting off earlier. Don't be too hasty. We have burdened him with enough revelations for now. Give him time to become accustomed to the truth about himself, then you can share all the details. Chance to become my weapon. Your enemies are a thorn in my side as well as yours. That's more I have never seen against Cavalier nor my warriors taking part in the conquest of your plane. At least not at my behest. There is no cause for enmity between it. Why do you want to close the wound? I was pleased. My realm was now connected to another plane. I wanted to make it into a crossroads of worlds, a place where demons, devils, and even angels could meet. The moon was a convenient path along which I could advance my ideas, but the Midnight Isles were not the only realm that had been linked to Galarian through the wound. Discari and Baphomet now also had a way from their realms into your plane. Their servants flooded my islands and spread out across them like a plague of locusts, killing guests who were under my protection, questioning my rule. They were driven by their lust to conquer and slay, whether on Galarian or in another abyssal realm. Forced to shift my focus and express my discontent, eventually atop the bones of our servants, we reached an accord. I would let their armies pass, and they would comply with my wishes while on my island. Of course, the accord is a polite fiction. Both Descartes and Baphomets are attempting to amass their power and influence Alushinyrra to overthrow me. When they think I'm not watching, they break my taboos and revel in their own impudence. And worst of all, Lady Borlish told them about the Nihidrian crystals. They realized what kind of power the crystals hold, and now they are determined to mine every last deposit hidden within the island. And once an island loses its crystals, it becomes nothing but flotsam, slowly sinking into the dark waters of Ishar. With every lost island, my power is diminished. I could start a war and kill the plunderers, but a major conflict would hinder some of my other plans. So instead, I'll teach my neighbors a lesson by orchestrating their ignominious defeat at the hands of a mortal. If I were to make a move myself, it would start a war. Not that I'm afraid of doing so, but it would hamper my more important plans. Baphomet and Descari could never best me, but they could sow enough chaos and spill enough blood that visitors from other planes would shudder at the mention of Alushinyrra. Okay. No, I will wage a war on my own terms, in the shadows, and I will remain unseen until I drive my blade into my enemy's back. And since Galfrey happened to send you into my realm, you have the honor of becoming my blade, mortal. I'm glad you're wielded by skillful hands. Okay, I'm getting... We should also reveal how exactly our blade will be employed. We can discuss the details later when the moment is right. Now is not the time for idle conversation. It's a complicated magical process. You will receive precise instructions once you've captured the Threshold Fortress on Galarian. There, at the exact spot where Lady Borlish opened the World Wound, you will be able to close it. But first you'll have to crush the Guardians of the Threshold, and their forces are growing by the day. Hepzibah, Baphomet's daughter, is mining a large number of Nihidrian crystals in my realm. These crystals are a secret weapon. No army in Galarian can stand against them. You must stop Hepzibah. If you do not, your world will fall and my plans will suffer significant harm. At one time, I disclosed the secret of transformation to two servants of Baphomet and Descari, Xanthar Vang and Mutasafin. It was a well-calculated gambit which brought us time and ensured both Descari and Baphomet of my loyalty. Mustafa'son is Hepzibah's favorite. He oversees the transformation of her army. Hepzibah is currently on another island far from here. The route to that place is plagued by pirates, monsters, tempests, and other more terrifying dangers. You have heard of the living bubbles of frozen time that'll swallow airships, and when the ships reach port, their crews discover they've been gone for 100 years? That is not the strangest occurrence you could encounter on your journey. I'm willing to provide you with a decent ship and an experienced crew. If you kill Hepzibah, it will stop her sinking any more of my islands, but without giving Baphomet cause to declare war on me. Then again, I'm not offering you anything new, as you already joined my favorite commander. Your companion is a succubus, and I'm a succubus queen. This demon follows you around only because I allow it. Tell me, Areelu, are you grateful that I'm not forbidding you from traveling with the commander and fighting against your own kind? You are incredibly generous, Our Lady in Shadow. So what do you think, Commander? Personally, I'd rather take my chances rowing to another island far from here in a rusty bucket than making any deals with the Lady in Shadow. I'll steer. Must always well, rest assured that you will be adequately rewarded. I will give you gifts befitting your ambitions and my patronage, which you can certainly count on. Will prove more valuable than any enchanted trinkets you can dream of. Okay. Someone's feeling generous. While we're at it, we might as well ask for immortality, Areelu-like divine powers, and pockets full of sweet pies, right? I can grant you immortality as well. If you think I will only reward the commander for his service, you are mistaken. I could grant every one of you whatever you desire most. You, underground hunter, would you like me to rid you of the curse of short life that haunts your tribe? so that your eyes don't grow weak in 5 years and your arms remain strong? I would love that, but I'll have to pass. I don't know what price demons demand for their favors like that, but I'm sure I've got nothing to pay with. I'd rather die honestly whenever my time comes than live with the debt around my neck. Why won't you let me just go? Why do you keep making me answer questions? I don't want to ask these questions. Skari and Baphomet won't just stand there and watch you close the world one. They'll send their armies after you, so you will need an army of your own, and that is something the Crusaders won't have for long. Hepzibah is mining more and more into power forces when she attacks Valerian. If you don't stop her, the Crusader resistance will be crushed, and the ranks is... You already told me this. Pouring through the world one into your world will multiply 100-fold. You were sent here to cut off the demon army supply of Nehedrin, weren't you? Well, that's exactly what you're going to accomplish. Okay. And accept it, I'm sure. I respect your caution and won't force you into submission. We'll all stand to gain if you do my bidding of your own volition. Your approval dances next phase. An interesting destiny lies before you, mortal. You will rise to great heights and play a part in events of titanic proportions. Many would give their life for a chance to tread such a path. Okay. Hepzibah visits us every now and again, but her true lair is far from here. She hides on the island of Cavalier, to the northwest of my archipelago. There lies her secret quote-unquote fortress. In the deep mines, her slaves dig hindering crystals for the invading army she plans to bring to Valerian. I will give you a magnificent airship and an experienced crew to take you there. I will be a long, perilous journey. Take some time to prepare. Well, am I ready to go? I'm already at 36 minutes. Do we just go there, or do I need to rest and go get... No, I don't want to teleport. I've got some really nice angels there. I don't want her people there. So I have business to take care of in Alushinyrra. Do I? Unless I want to go get that guy, and I don't think I do. I'm sure I've missed some quests here somewhere along the way. But I guess I'm ready to go hunt down Hepzibah. If not, we'll be coming back to where this one started from, right? If this fails miserably. Let's go get her. Let's go get her. You are no longer needed here. As you wish. Did you notice the look in her eyes? Pensive and appraising. Pensive and appraising. She's thinking of using me. It stops you with a commanding gesture. There's one more thing we must discuss. The Lexicon of Paradox, Lady Vorlish's magical treatise that contains many secrets of the world womb. You and my servant, Lady Vorlish, were just talking about the Lexicon of Paradox. For many years, it has remained split in half, harmless. But what once was divided can be made whole again. Who knows what power the book could impart to its owner? What if they expand the world one even further, or connect it to other planes? Not a chance. Lexicon has caused more than enough trouble already. You already possess the first half of the book. Find the other one and bring them both to me. I will reward you handsomely. Giving the book into my keeping will also protect Valerian from suffering a second world wound disaster. Lexicon of Paradox will be much safer under my watchful eye than in your travel bags. Wouldn't you agree? Why would you need this book? One world wound alone has been enough of a nuisance for me. I want to ensure that some future mage leafing through this book doesn't think my realm to another plane. Okay. The reward will not disappoint you, I promise. This dangerous you're locked up, and I won't keep you any longer. Don't need to know this, don't need to know this. Okay, I tried to do this last time. Let's go get her. Hope you are well prepared. Have you brought your strongest companions? On your journey, they will be the only ones you can rely on. Receive no reinforcements, and you will not see those you leave behind on Alushinyrra for a very long time. Yeah, this is the best I got. Don't dismiss the importance of preparing for this mission. When you're ready, step into this portal. It will take you to my airship. Captain and crew have already received their instructions, and good luck to you, mortal. An extraordinary adventure waits. Alright, I get to stop here. Finally, I get to a stopping point. So, I gotta double check my inventory. Maybe I do need to go back and check on some things. I've got a mythic levels that I have to take. So definitely want to do that before we do anything else. And I think maybe I want to go back to the Nexus and get everybody's mythic levels up. So maybe I will do that. But I think this is going to be the team I take to the mines because they've been fairly deadly. I don't think I have anything in my chest that I really need to grab. But there are some things in my inventory that I just got. I have to see what all that stuff is and see if this is really the right choice. Okay? So, if you'd like to see it, the thumbs up button. You really see, go and subscribe. It's a notified bell. Be notified to upload videos and schedule streams. I'm Dren608. Until we meet again, stay safe and bye-bye.